Hello, beloved members and friends of the Church of St. Martin's in the Fields community. My name is Jarrett Kerbel. I am so blessed to be your rector. I am using my rector's note for the week after Labor Day to talk about our fall campaign called Voting is Our Sacred Duty. You will see many ways to get involved in the nonpartisan work of registering people to vote and helping people secure mail-in ballots. Our goal is to increase participation in a major civic duty called voting. It's my belief that voting is a Christian duty. When we are given a power, such as the power to vote, it becomes our responsibility to use it ethically for the good of our neighbor and ourselves, which is to say, the common good. I hope you will all plan to vote and will encourage everyone around you to vote. I wanted to start off this video with some images that are very inspiring to me. Unfortunately, they are copyright protected, so I'll have to send you out to find them on the web yourself. Just simply Google the Selma to Montgomery March of March 7th, 1965, and the following protest on March 21st, 1965, also from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. You will find in that gathering of pictures a wonderful image of Dr. Martin Luther King marching arm in arm with leaders of the Jewish faith and multiple Christian denominations, including a nun, a Catholic priest, and an Episcopal priest, as well as future Representative John Lewis. I'd like to dedicate this work we're doing for voting rights and voting access to that image and to those people, especially to John Lewis, who took a savage beating on March 7th, 1965, and especially to Jimmy Lee Jackson, who was ruthlessly gunned down and murdered in that march, and to Unitarian pastor James Reeb, who was beaten to death on that day by white police officers. People gave their lives for the right to vote. They literally gave their lives so that we could vote, especially our African American friends and neighbors and members who were not allowed to vote in this country largely before 1965, before the Civil Rights Act signed by Lyndon Johnson in response to the march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma. So let us be inspired by the work of church leaders who led these marches, organized these marches, led these campaigns, and bled in these campaigns to make sure suffrage was universal in this country. Some people ask me sometimes, why should the church be involved in voting? Well, we've always been involved in it. Go back to abolition. The abolition movement of the early 19th century through the Civil War was largely a church movement. The civil rights movement of the 40s, 50s, and 60s was largely a church movement and a house of worship movement. Wherever human rights and human dignity are at stake, and we believe that voting, self-determination is crucial to human rights and human dignity, the church is there because of our baptismal vows. Our baptismal vows to respect the dignity of every human being. when there is systemic oppression and attempts to restrict voting and keep people from the polls, we are there. When by apathy or disengagement, people put down their hard-won right to vote, we are there, encouraging participation. In Romans 13, we are taught to fully engage with the form of government that God has given us. God has given us a democracy. And to fully engage it means to participate and to vote. So I hope you will join in these efforts. You can check in with me or Carol Duncan or Kate Moss or anybody on the community engagement team or local organizing committee to get engaged. And thank you for all the work you're doing, I know you're doing, on your own in this cause. We, as a church, have a certain amount of power and authority given to us by the gospel, by the fact that we're an organized body with a mission. And so we are accountable and we are responsible, and we will use those gifts for the greater good. Amen.